Hello,
It's a working theory. Get it on the.
and welcome to Tech Server Nerd. How you guys doing? So, this is a topic I've been wanting to talk a long time. That more and more info keeps coming out, but I do want to get into Dan Crenshaw. Now, I've got this pulled up for Fleckus Talks because he goes into some of the new drama, but I want to get into some of the old drama. Like, first off, Dan Crenshaw came in, he was on SNL. He gets invited to all of the comedy after shows that only have left people on. He's the only right person. He is the swamp. Like, he was voted in. Like, that. There was a report that I should totally do a whole video on about AOC and Ilhan Omar and how they were trying to bring in freshman Congress members and Senate members that were that the younger people could relate to. And I'm trying to tell people that Dan Crenshaw is no different. The big donors. He was just put on by the World Economic Forum as a top politician to watch, and the reason why is because the money that donated to him is the same money that donated to progressives. He is literally just and the rhinos, and you follow the money and you see who he's working for. He literally, one of the first things he tried to do as a Republican was to do his own red flag laws, because he said Republicans haven't tried red flags laws. Let's see how Republicans can do red flag laws. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. But and then I have to say the other thing that really turned me off on Dan Crenshaw was when he went after the gun girl, Caitlin Bennett. Um, like, you punch up. You are a senator representing the people. Like, I'm making fun of Dan Crenshaw because Dan Crenshaw is bigger than me. Like, I'm not attacking the homeless guy on the street, or like, I don't punch down, I punch up. And Dan Crenshaw is punching up, and so we can be critical of you because you have a job that involves you actually servicing the people. So, like, that's your job. Okay. So, attacking people who are just like activists and people who are trying to get information to the people is kind of low. It was just lame. But all in all, the guy's not 2A. The guy was literally picked by the way he looks. He was picked because he looks like a G.I. Joe member, but the actuality is he's working for Cobra. And there are so many examples, but let's get into this interview and talking about
The books,
Mr.
and it might
Crenshaw.
come true in like 2 months. Yeah. The way we called hot honey, the way we called the pit bulls being problems, they're gonna start really trying to humanize machines, and there's gonna be like a confusion there that they're gonna try to instill in
I
the
thought I
public.
had this lined up.
I thought you were gonna be more vulgar, more crude. Be one of those guys. Don't fall for it. Don't be one of those. Moving on to the most
All right,
important
here we go,
section of the
guys.
show. Okay, guys. Dan Crenshaw sucks. We all know Dan
Yes, he
Crenshaw
does.
sucks. The thing I don't like about him the most,
Cheers.
he talks down to people. So if there was like an event and someone said, "Hey Dan, like voter fraud, are you gonna do something about it?" And he's like, "You're an idiot. You think voter fraud had anything to do with the election? You think there was enough votes stolen to blah blah blah? You're an idiot." He says you're an idiot to everybody. He said, "Oh, you're so you're dumb if you think ending endless wars is a good political stance. Like you're stupid."
Like, he's totally bought out by rhinos. He is uniparty as they get. He is literally the swamp. And they picked this guy so that we could look at him and say we're being patriotic because this guy looks patriotic, that we're being patriotic by supporting him, but he is not a patriot.
Stupid. He always talks down to people. And
Always
it's weird
talks down to
because
people.
I was kind of
He talked down to Caitlyn. He talked really shitty to Caitlyn. The things he said to Caitlyn on Twitter was just like, dude, be a man. Like, this is, first off, I understand Caitlyn's controversial. She does put herself out there, but she's also like really young, and like, I mean, she just had her first baby. She's like, I don't know, she's like a young woman that is on her virtuous thing, doing her own stuff, and like I don't know, man, it just felt really bad for a politician. I don't think Caitlyn lives in Texas, but like if she did, he'd be representing her, and it would be like a representative attacking the people he represents. It's kind of lame, kind of lame.
Coming at him on Twitter this week, and there was no one defending him in the comments, which is interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
Because he's a dipshit.
There's no one like, hey, Dan, no, Dan's great. Like, don't say that. It's not true. All Dan's supporters are boomers who see that he was
That's good. Oh, man.
in the military. He's a veteran. He's got an eye patch. And they're
G.I. Joe meant something, guys. It was important.
like, Dan Crenshaw's a war hero. That's all I need to know. Yeah. And they salute him. And that's the same thought process that
Go, Joe.
pretty much brought us John McCain and allowed John McCain to maintain power and do what he did for so long. And look what it ended up happening. At the end, when he had to really do the right thing,
Yeah.
they called him up and he didn't do it.
And he voted against repealing Obamacare.
Exactly.
50th vote.
And that's who Dan Crenshaw is going to be. And I'm not just doing this for no reason. The reason I'm bringing this up is because my friend Alex Brusewitz, who has a company called X Strategies, they do like social media, conservative, right-leaning media for Congress people, clients, whatever. There's a ton of groups like that. They're good at it. And they've been going after Dan Crenshaw, saying Dan Crenshaw supports red flag laws. Dan Crenshaw is against
He does.
election fraud. He's not mad.
All we wanted was transparency in our elections, just like we had in 2016, just like we had when the Bush Gore. Transparency. That's all people were asking for.
Yeah, all these things. Yeah. And this is why we have this segment of the show.
This is why it bubbled up.
This is why it bubbled up, Dan. I didn't want to do this, Dan. I don't usually go after people in the videos.
And especially people on the right.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, but I'm still gonna have to go after people because, fuck, it's a dumpster fire.
I don't want to be infighting. Like,
We don't want to be infighting, Dan. We don't want to be infighting. But when you go out of your way,
Republicans need to be infighting because the left has gone way too far left, and the right is gone with them. All of the right politicians are with it's a uniparty. So definitely, as much infighting as many Marjorie Taylor Greens as we can fucking manifest, like MTG Magic the Gathering. You know, if we can manifest more Marjorie Taylor Green cards onto our player field with different names, that would be great. But Republican Party needs to be infighting. If they're not infighting, I question that they really believe what they say they do.
and you spend hours as a congressman, you're spending hours calling people on the phone trying to get them to cancel their business with Alex Brusewitz and X Strategies and Derek Utley.
Yep.
Because they're going and talking about you badly on Twitter. And they're saying
Because canceling freedom of speech is more important than doing your job as a public representative.
true things. It's not like they're lying and they're slandering you. They're going on Twitter saying the things Dan Crenshaw has done that are not good, they're not Republican, they're not conservative, and now he's calling people that work with X Strategies and Alex Brusewitz, and he's offering them, if they're congressional candidates, he's offering them $5,000 to stop working with Alex Brusewitz. Busy guy.
yeah.
Oh, you're busy, Dan.
You have that much time?
Oh, wow. Must be nice.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, on the other hand, is making people come to work to do their job. Like, you know how big these bills are that they're passing? Like, how much has to be read? When Marjorie Taylor Greene was on Tim Pool, she said that she has 7 people who read these bills. And between 7 people, they give them like 40 to 50 hours to read it. And she said they can get about 1/3 the way through with 7 people. So they need entire teams of people to read these bills. So that means he's making these phone calls while he should be reading the bills that are about to pass. And there's a whole nother issue with the size of these bills. And that's something that needs to be addressed immediately, or freedom will never reign. But
To be so free and with your time. Voter fraud, don't worry about that. Joe Biden got 83 million votes, no problem. Red flag, who cares?
That's so weird.
But this, you're going You're calling all these people to cancel Alex Brusewitz, a 24-year-old with a business, because he's being mean to you on Twitter. And there's so many. Was everything else done, Dan?
Pretty much the same thing Caitlyn is.
We all good everywhere else? 2020 wasn't stolen. Joe Biden got 83 million votes. Where that's true, and then he won. He got 83 million votes legit.
81? Isn't it 81?
He got 81 million. He got 81 million votes legit. Is that what we're going off of, Dan? You're not busy? You don't have to figure that out? 81 million votes? Oh, I guess we have some free time. We're going to get Alex Brusewitz canceled now. That's what Dan Crenshaw is up to. And he's been exposed by a lot of people. Ian Smith Fitness called him out. He said that Ian Smith Fitness, after Ian Smith Fitness called him out, Dan Crenshaw replied by saying Ian Smith Fitness is a Patriot LARPer. The guy who has a gym that he kept open, I think it's New Jersey or New York.
A real patriot.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Belmar, right?
Yeah.
This is so frustrating because so much has been LARPing over the past 10 years of politics. I mean, even in Occupy there was LARPing. There's been so much LARPing going on. But to call someone who is actually fighting for his business to stay open a LARPer, like as a LARPer, I take offense to that. Because that guy was standing up for himself and his business and all of his clients. And technically, all of American, like he was defying like tyranny on like the biggest level. So that's a huge insult.
Yeah. So the guy who has a gym he kept open in New Jersey, no masks, no COVID regulations. He didn't do it. He ate like millions in fines.
Fines were racking up every day.
Every day. He would just stand tall and just say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not imposing these unconstitutional things on my clients, on my customers, my gym goers.
A small business owner fighting for his own small business during a time of like tyrannical shutdowns is a patriot LARPer.
Yeah. And the guy who said all the things about COVID being wrong and proven right. Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. Now he's proven right. He's a patriot LARPer. Dan Crenshaw called him that. So Alex Brusewitz posted a video calling out Dan Crenshaw, and then
I would love to have those guys on here. Not that big yet, but maybe one day.
Ian Smith commented, remember that time he called me a patriot LARPer? LOL, still getting over that, or still not over that, or whatever. Yeah. And Don Jr. liked that comment, which tells us that the MAGA base is done with you. The Trumps are done with you.
I'm done with you.
Primary you if we could.
You know, he liked to comment, but yeah.
Based on what I'm seeing, yeah, the MAGA base is done with you. Trumps are done with you. No one believes in you. You've had 1.1 million followers for the last 2 years. You're not growing in audience. Your message isn't resonating.
You're LARPing as a G.I. Joe. I'm just gonna say, you're not a G.I. Joe. I seriously doubt you ever fought Cobra. Ever fought Cobra. And I would, if you fought Cobra, I want to see the receipts. Just saying.
People don't actually like you. You're not likable. The best thing you had going for you is the only reason you have a base is the boomers think because you have an eye patch and you were in the military, you're going to do something. Yeah.
Go, Joe.
We all know that that's a scam. So, Dan Crenshaw, you're done. Keep hanging out with Pete Davidson, Nikki Haley. You notice how he gets
Pete Davidson is cringe on so many levels.
Invited on like Trevor Noah and SNL?
Yeah.
It's not because he's so smart and he's the only one willing to talk to them.
It's because he's the swamp. He is the swamp. He's not trying to change the swamp. He is the swamp.
It's because they know that he's the future good boy. Yeah. He's the one who's going to sell out the Republicans down the line. He's the next generation of establishment Republican rhino. So they know they bring him around, and then they'll be like, oh, why can't everyone be like Dan Crenshaw and Liz Cheney?
They'll elevate him for when they need him, right?
Exactly. Bring him on Trevor Noah, and he'll go, and Trevor Noah will say, oh, wow, Dan, we agree on climate change. Why can't every Republican be like Dan
Why don't
Crenshaw?
they just get it? Why don't they just get it?
Yeah, Liz Cheney and Dan Crenshaw and Meghan McCain, why can't we be like them? Keep doing it. Go hang out with Pete Davidson. You're done. The base is done with you. We can't primary you yet because we don't want to primary you with, but after we get people like Kinzinger out of office.
I'm not going to lie. If they do primary him, I hope they primary him with another member of G.I. Joe. Like the dude with the flamethrower for a hand. Whew.
You're the next Kinzinger up, buddy. You're Adam Kinzinger part 2. And you're going to be taken out of office by votes.
You see that forum of young global leaders shaping the future thing?
Of course, him, Alex Soros.
This is what I'm talking about. It was the young global leaders. This was the Economic World Forum. The same people build back better. The global communism people. Like you're gonna own nothing in the future and love it. And okay, Tulsi, and I honestly I would have voted for Tulsi. I liked her, but look, they're putting people to watch, and Daniel Crenshaw's at the top. He has been picked by the New World Order, by the Illuminati, to be the next face of republicanism, but he's not a Republican. He literally wrote red flag laws.
Soros, Tulsi Gabbard, Zuckerberg, David DeRothschild, and Megan Rapinoe.
And he goes, "Oh, I told him to
What has Megan Rapinoe really done?
take that off." Oh, well, they didn't, Dan. You're still up there. So, yeah, keep looking into red flag laws, Dan. Keep believing the election was fair. Joe Biden got 81 million votes, buddy. Thanks for the help, pal.
If they do a red flag law, it'll be a they-them reviewing your application or something so quick. It'll be some sort of they-them, like, who goes, this guy likes the Constitution a little too much. Denied with a stamp. Like, it's a joke. You don't give anybody an inch because they will take 10 miles.
And Dan Crenshaw gives the inch.
He
Don't
gives
give the
me.
inch. He's happy to do it. So, Dan,
Yeah, I hope he
hopefully
gives
you're
more
just
than
like a
1 inch.
congressman who gets primaried eventually by a super base MAGA person, and you get
Or a GI Joe member.
voted out in 2024. But don't try to run for president.
Change. Start doing the right thing. I mean, I'm not.
Maybe do the right thing. I think he's done. I think he's already compromised. He's done.
I don't think
Done,
that's.
man. You can't recover this. It's over. Yeah. So just stop. You're done. Don't run for president. Don't run for governor. You don't.
I think Dan can redeem himself. I really do. I believe in redemption, and I do think that he can start going more towards the Constitution. I don't know. I believe in redemption, and I think that Dan is not far out from redemption. Now, image is one thing, his soul is another, but I don't think. I think that there's a chance to save him. I think if the party moves far enough that he might have to follow, he might. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say I don't think anyone is beyond redemption.
Trust you. You're not likable, and the further you go, the uglier it's gonna be. So just please stop. Stop fighting with 25-year-olds. You're a 24-year-old kid. You're calling people and saying, "I'll give you $5,000 if you don't work with them anymore." It's like, isn't that so embarrassing? Nothing better to do with your time. You're trying to get Alex Brucewitz canceled, and they stole the election, and they're doing all these COVID things. And January 6th is like a terrorist attack, and it's like you're fighting about Alex Brucewitz. Well, you're a busy guy, Dan.
Or a free time guy. Or he must have a lot of free time.
Yeah, a lot of free. He's busy. No.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's been trying to interview the people who have been arrested from January 6th, and to my knowledge, she's talked to them, but she's not allowed cameras. But she did say that she's actually spoken with them and trying to give them hope that there are people in the government who are trying to work for her. Like, those are the kind of politicians I want right now. People who are going to political prisoners and saying, "I'm working for you." Those are good politicians.
Oh, election fraud? No need to look into that. He's busy trying to get Alex Brucewitz canceled for $5,000. Oh, damn. Busy guy. All right, we're done talking about it. Bringing us to our next thing, the sponsor of the show.
All right, guys. Well, so yeah, Dan Crenshaw's just kind of cringe. Totally sus. He definitely has other things he needs to be spending his time on. Here's the thing, is that the politicians the right have aren't focused on the issues the right is concerned about. That's why I say the uniparty. Because literally the right, all they're doing is trying to slow down the left. Not stop, not do a counter argument, slow down. And then the left are doing crazy shit, but they're doing it slower because of the right. And that is just literally we're trickling towards tyranny. And we need someone somewhere, like a Marjorie Taylor Greene, or a Trump, someone to come in here and stop the government from what they're doing. And it's totally possible. That's what we built our Constitution on and our Bill of Rights. It's It's totally possible, but we have to do our part too. We got to go vote. We've got to look in to see who we're voting for. And I'm telling you, local elections are the most important. Local elections, primaries are the most important. Don't vote, man. Like, how did Biden get the Democratic primary? Like Tulsi Gabbard was awesome. Yang, not gonna lie, was a good candidate. I would have picked Buttigieg. If I was a Democrat, I would have taken Buttigieg over Biden. I don't even know how Biden got in there. Obviously, people didn't vote. So vote for the people. Now, I'm not saying vote Democrat. I mean, just vote your heart, but do your thing, But, like if you don't vote in your primary, you're stuck with a fucking shit sandwich or a douchebag. And then you get people like Crenshaw. So, anyway, guys, it's been great. Much love. Please like, share, and subscribe. And this is Jonathan Skinner here at Tech Server Nerd, and I will be talking to you all soon. Have a great night.